Hey, dads, how's your schedule looking? Packed full of meetings? You get home? Do you have a honeydew list? The sink's leaking. The AC's backed up and won't turn on. Did we replace the furnace filter last month? Did you remember to pour bleach down the drain? The family grocery gutter is on empty, and by the way, it should have had an oil change about 2,000 miles ago. Does all this stuff make your shoulders come up, fill you full of tension, puts that tension to the back of your jaw, and you just feel like you're holding on to everything? Well, that physical manifestation of stress oftentimes comes up on it, and we don't even notice that we're doing it. But I tell you what, it drastically affects us. And it's not just the physical body. Our brain actually gets tired too. But what do? It's not like any of these things are going to go away anytime soon. Life as a dad, it's kind of tough. The only thing we really can do is change the way that we can handle stress. And where does that begin? It begins with figuring out what our system is doing to begin with. Today, we're going to talk about heart rate variability scans and how our heart rate variability scan is going to be different than what you get on your Apple Watch or your Garmin because of the way that we're actually looking at it and the utility that we can pull from this information. So if your Father's Day came and went and you had a little bit less stress on the day that appreciates dad, but we're rolling right into Monday and it is pedal to the metal, exhaustion, stress, all this stuff coming at us all over again. Stay tuned. You're going to want to hear this. Let's figure this out. Let's get our systems working like they're supposed to. Let's fix ourselves so it can be better for our kids. Every single dad that comes through our doors for an exam will participate in our insight scans. Now, our insight scans have 3 different parts that can measure what parts of our nervous system are the most stressed, how well we are adapting to our environment around us, how much energy we are wasting, and that comes off as tension in places that it shouldn't. But ultimately, the capstone of looking at dad care is the HRV scan, the balance between that stress stuck on sympathetic part of our nervous system and the rest, relax, heal, digest food, do the things we need to do to not be stressed parasympathetic part of our nervous system. Now, if you're anything like me and you are a dangerous junior electrician, don't tell nobody. It's not like an on-off switch. We can't go from stress on to stress off super easy. It's more like a dimmer switch. And if you've replaced switches at all, you'd catch my drift. But it's easy to take on extra stresses at home and at work to provide for our families. It's also one of those dad things. Why would I call somebody to replace switches? I can do that. The sink's leaking. I can fix that. Toilet needs a new wax ring. Piece of cake. As dads, sometimes we're gluttons for punishment, trying to get things done for our families in the fastest, easiest ways. Sometimes we complicate things, but hey, at the end of the day, we're doing it for our families. So let's take this minute and do something for yourself too. Now, stress comes in many forms: physical, environmental, and emotional. And while it can sometimes be easier to separate those things in our brain, from a cognitive standpoint, saying, I know this is this and I know that's that, our body doesn't always know the difference. Our body feels stress and we have a stress response, whether it comes from physical, emotional, or environmental. Therefore, it doesn't have to be one or the other to start building that physical manifestation where stress is shown outwardly from our body. That shoulders up, tight jaw, leaning forward, ready to power through something position that we get ourselves stuck into is a very sympathetic stress stuck on position. And it's something I see every day. When we're in this state constantly, day in and day out, not only our body, but our brain gets tired too. Even if you don't feel this effect in the short term, over the long term, that daily stress is going to accumulate, build, and it's going to affect our sleep. It's going to affect our mood. It's going to affect our energy levels, and it's going to affect the way that we interact with our significant others and our kiddos. And while it's a tough pill to swallow, here's the deal. This stuff ain't going to go away. There's no magic wand to wave to take all of our stressors away because believe you me, if I knew of that, I would have used it on myself first. But the body's response to these stressors is something that we can measure and we can help. So today we're going to take a quick look at what our HRV heart rate variability scans do to show how our brain and nervous system handle a stress load. It can show us whether we're stuck in that stress stuck on go, fight or flight mode, or if we've gone way past that, smashed the whole system down and are totally exhausted, tired, worn out, and beat up. What you see before you is what a very common, worn out, beat down, tired, exhausted, but also stressed to the max dad reading looks like on one of our HRV scans. In the scan, the brain is full on fight or flight, sympathetic stress stuck on mode, as you can see, because that white dot is hammered over to the left part of our chart. If you look down the bottom, that's our sympathetic side, that's stress stuck on. And most likely it's been here for quite a long time. Now, the longer that we can't neurologically take a break, the more tired out our entire system becomes. That's why in this dad's scan, it's not just pegged over to the left in that stress stuck on mode, but it's also down pretty low. Now we look at those numbers on the side, we see 0 to 100. I tell you what, if you're at 0, you're not alive. 100 being very efficient, dad's not doing so great here. That low 60% efficiency that we're looking at right here is not efficient. If you build a hot rod and you build your engine, you build your fuel system, you get it on the dyno, and you have a 40% parasitic loss in the drivetrain, we got a problem, man. That's exactly what's going on here. That stress system has overwhelmed the body so much that it's draining the efficiency of that nervous system to function properly. This is why dads feel wound up and worn out at the same time. Our balance is off and our brain and nervous system are working much harder than they need to. Now, these HRV scans are the most helpful tool that we have in sorting out what's going on when we're looking for help. When we're looking for drug-free help with sleep, energy, anxiousness, and managing stress. Without this scan, we'd be chasing symptoms like most other medical approaches. And with a busy schedule, getting to the root cause of what's going on and getting results quickly and efficiently is key. So dads, when I say we are a pediatric prenatal and family office, family includes you too. I have a great time taking care of dads. Somebody to talk to about fixing sinks and restoring cars and building stuff and doing man stuff. But if you've tried a bunch of other stuff and the 2 monsters and 6 cups of coffee aren't doing it for you anymore on a daily basis when you're coming home tired, exhausted, and worn out, then this is something you need to give a shot. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family. We've got the technology to measure objectively what's going on with your system, and the important part is these objective measures change, and that's what our care is based on. Changing these objective measures so the things you feel on a daily basis change as well. We'll sit down, we'll look at your HRV, we'll look at these objective measures, we'll talk about your goals, and it becomes my job to get you there, to build a map. And believe me, I'm not one to pull over and stop for directions. I get it, dads, but this is what I do. So consider this your sign to take some action. Don't call tomorrow, don't call next week, don't wait till next month. Yesterday's already passed. Today's the day to do it. Get in touch with us. Let me help you manage the way that you handle stress better. It's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for your spouse. It's going to be better for your families and your community. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to talk to you. Can't wait to help you make a better impact in this world. I'll see you soon. Take care.